So to get started, I would like to start with basic on why Zoho WorkDrive. And this question is for Sini. I think there are a ton of file storage system out there in the market. So could you just kind of share with us, just where does WorkDrive come in? Is this a file storage tool, or is this something more advanced like a DMS document management system? So if you can kind of help us understand that a little bit more, Sini. So I open the floor to you.
Sure. We'll definitely do that. And first, I would like to thank you and the audience for this particular session on the document management tool, our WorkDrive. So to answer your question, so we all know that there is a kind of transition that's happening for every industry or every application towards the AI integrations and the integrations with other applications. So we are currently in the phase of transforming WorkDrive from a content management platform to an advanced and an intelligent content management platform. So with this being said, the WorkDrive expands your portfolio. So you can pitch it as a standalone document management system or as a bundle with other Zoho applications as well. And WorkDrive also supports a secure file storage and a content collaboration and much more. And you will see how easy it is to position WorkDrive based on your requirement and to fulfill your day-to-day activity with the contents and the documents. And at the same time, it's so easy for you to manage your users who use the platform as well as a company. So that's flexible and scalable.
Right. And I myself am a daily hardcore user of a lot of Zoho products, of course, WorkDrive being one of them. I'm assuming the position of which is that it can be based on how our users use it, right? Whether they want to use it as a standalone single solutions, or maybe want to use it as part of something way larger, which belongs to a bundle, like in this case, maybe Zoho Workplace. Am I right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. So as we have got so much to talk today about WorkDrive's capability, we are going to split this webinar session into two parts. And today's focus is to help you build smarter teams, ensure safer data, and deliver a stronger pitch for WorkDrive. And we'll lay the groundwork with critical admin and security features here. So we have Monisha here with us, who will be demonstrating few scenarios in live with the help of which we will be able to understand how best we can make use of WorkDrive for our day-to-day work in various stages of the content flow within the organization or within the team.
Yes, and as Sini said, this is Monisha. So I'll be helping you demonstrate how you can best make use of WorkDrive to get the best out in every stage of your content movement across teams and then individuals.
Oh, perfect. Seems like we're all well set in place. So again, before we dive in, I think, Sini, it will be fitting, and I think it will be extremely helpful if we help our audiences understand today's agenda a little bit better, right? So what we're going to be talking about, especially the key segments.
Sure, we'll definitely do that. So today's session is split into 5 different segments. So the first one is going to be about how best you can do a user management, or how easy it's going to be when you're going to onboard your users from your existing platforms to WorkDrive. So that stage of transition is the very first stage. And then comes the strengthened admin controls, where the admin who's going to set up this, how he can go ahead and set the policies for the entire organization when he brings in users. So next structure is going to be about the data structures. So how easy and how best you can structure your data so that it can be used for your future collaboration works. And then it's going to be like creating and editing content effortlessly without the need of adding any other third-party platforms or any other applications which cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. And then finally, it's going to be quick access and content categorization. So once you add more files to your platform, you need to have quick access. It's not just that you're having more documents and you don't know where to find and how to find what. So that is the most crucial part. So these are the 5 segments that we are going to cover today. And I hope this gives our audience a better understanding on how easy it is to perform a change management when they opt for Zoho WorkDrive over their existing platforms.
Awesome. Okay, so what we will do is just very quickly jump into maybe part one of today's discussion. Obviously, most of us who have joined for today's discussion know that we're talking about enterprise-grade control in terms of document management for businesses of pretty much every size, right? Whether you're enterprise, whether SMEs. So again, this sounds like pretty much the foundation of everything that follows within an organization or in the typical workplace, right, Sini? And
That is right.
I would like to think this is pretty much a big deal itself. So maybe you can help us understand why is it such a big deal to kind of have this sort of system in place.
Sure. We'll definitely do that. So for many clients, security and administrative controls are non-negotiable. So WorkDrive gives the teams the confidence to collaborate freely while staying compliant with the industry standards and to ensure that they abide by the policies that is laid by their organization when they use a cloud management platform or a content management platform.
Right, and I agree, especially with the compliance aspect. I think one thing that we tend to hear often from customers is that onboarding new users can be extremely time consuming, which makes sense, right? So how does WorkDrive simplify that for us? And I'm assuming there are features within that can do that.
I would say it's incredibly flexible. So there are multiple onboarding options available, whether it's adding users manually, or you can add them as a bulk import, and also you can sync with your existing directories, let's say an Active Directory. So this flexibility helps the business to get their teams onboarded and start with the production as fast as they can without unnecessary delays or any confusions. So you can manually add users, import them using a file, or you can also sync from your existing directory. So this way businesses can team up and start running without any hassle. So here, as you see on the screenshots, you can just simply add their email address and you can add the users with the desired role that you have.
I see. I think the analogy is spot on. And I think we can kind of agree how easy that looks, right? But what if users, right, actually uses a cloud directory to manage their own users? What about that?
Yes, it is very much possible. So if your clients are already using a cloud directory service to manage their users, then they can use this bulk import where they can export their users list or users data in a form of an XLS or a CSV or a VCF format, and they can just simply add them directly using our Zoho directory options. So this creates separate accounts for each users, and it's a simple and efficient way to everyone get onboarded quickly. Maybe we can have a quick demo on this.
Of course. So let me just show you. You just have to go to the Zoho directory here. Within the Zoho directory tab under the admin panel, so you would find the options users, and within the users here, you will when you just click on this vertical dots, you will find the option to import and export all. So using this import users word, you just have to upload the list of users, which would be in the formats like XLS, XLSS, CSV, and VCF. So these are the supported file formats the users can use, and they can just simply import the file and click on the next button, and the users will be here listed in the directory, and then further they can sync to the other Zoho applications. This would be a easy way to onboard the users when they have an active cloud directory.
Good. I guess it's a pretty straightforward option where they can go ahead and import users.
Right. I think that's especially really helpful for larger and bigger teams itself. So importing users in bulk, certainly, of course, I think without a doubt saves a ton of time. And of course, once the users are in, right, the next big step maybe is moving the existing data right into Zoho WorkDrive itself. So I think you can kind of help myself as well as the audiences understand a little bit on perhaps the options that we have here. What are some of the migration options to moving this data into WorkDrive?
Right. Yes. So we have got an inbuilt migration tool, which is really simple, which supports data transfers from your existing cloud services. So if you are using cloud services like say Google, Dropbox, or OneDrive, you do not want to have a third-party application to connect between your existing cloud service and WorkDrive. We have got an inbuilt tool that helps you to simply connect your existing cloud service with WorkDrive and move your data. So this helps you to move your data without any manual intervention here. So you just do a one-time setup and the work runs in the backend. So it just imports all your files and your users as well into WorkDrive. So all you need to do is you need to first create an account for the users here, and you need to just map the email address that you're given for the users in WorkDrive with the current platform. So you need to just match the email addresses and just forget about the migration. It just runs in the backend and you get all your files once the migration is completed.
So this is built into Zoho WorkDrive, right?
Yes, and building on what Sini explained, I would like to show that the migration tool can be found right within the WorkDrive's admin console. So we have a separate tab here for migration. So when you click on the migration tab, you can see the supported migration, supported platforms we migrate the data from. So as of now in WorkDrive, we support the migration from Google Workspace Plan, Dropbox, and OneDrive. So these are the supported platforms from where the users can migrate. And when they just click on the required platform, they'll be able to initiate the migration. So this is the steps they need to follow when they initiate the migration.
Sure. I think we've seen quite a fair bit in terms of how we can migrate users into the organization. And I really want to focus the next part perhaps on, for users who want to migrate data from other services that aren't probably listed here. And I'm talking about from various devices, right? So let's say I want to migrate, data or files from a machine that's yet to be uploaded into any other services as well. Could you kind of focus a bit more on that and just maybe walk us through some of the options available?
That's really a great question, Nicholas. So here, data upload isn't limited to just migration tools. We also offer multiple ways, as you see here. We also offer you desktop applications and mobile app applications, using which you can go ahead and upload your files that you have on your desktop and mobile phone. So on the desktop app, once it's installed, user can simply drag and drop the files or folders, even with a complex folder structure. So that is very much easier. And the web version also works the same way. So we have unified the way it functions, but in desktop or mobile app or in the web app. So it's all the same. It's going to be a unified experience for the users when they are going to upload a data from their local machines or from the drives or from the NAS to the cloud, the WorkDrive account. And here, the best part is it's the chunk upload that we have done. So, Monisha, can you elaborate a little more on the chunk upload?
Definitely, Sini. So in WorkDrive, we support chunk uploads where the large files will get split into smaller pieces or chunks that we say, and it will be uploaded individually. So it will be uploaded individually to the servers so that whenever there is a network failure or there is a slowness in your network, the files will not fail to get uploaded. When it gets uploaded in chunks, it makes sure that the already uploaded files are saved in the server. And once the complete upload process is completed, you can see the file. You don't have to repeat the upload process again and again for large files. So that's why we have supported chunk upload in WorkDrive now.
Right. I think chunk upload works tremendously. Again, I think let's make some shift here. Again, if you take a look at today's context, right, there are a lot of people who are still working with best physical documentations, which is really there. And maybe converting hard copies into soft copies could be perhaps a daunting task for them. So in WorkDrive, I like to believe that there are certain features that will help us be able to convert physical documents to e-files, right?
Yes, you're right, Nicholas. So in WorkDrive, we have provided options to convert your physical documents into where you can digitize it using the WorkDrive mobile apps, and you can even scan the documents. So the WorkDrive mobile apps allow you to scan the documents, take photos, or even record audio and upload them instantly. You can also email scanned files into WorkDrive from the scanner. So if you have scanners installed in your workspace, you can just scan the physical documents, and you just have to enable this setting in your WorkDrive's team folder. So let me just give you a quick demo on this. Yeah. So in WorkDrive's team folder, you will be having options to enable file upload via email. So you first have to configure that options to your team folder. Within the team folders, when you configure this option, you need to enter this unique email address to your scanner's address book. When you add this unique email to your scanner's address book, once you have done scanning the documents, you'll be able to send these documents to the scanned documents to this email address, and this will get landed to your desired team folder.
Mm,
So
okay.
this helps firms to convert the physical documents to soft copies for storage and also for sharing, which is a simple way to bridge the gap between the paper and the digital workflows. And here's something even more useful is if your clients have scanners, so they can just, this would also help for people when they're in hospitals. They can just scan their prescriptions and can have that stored in the cloud. And they can even choose right now it is only supported for team folders, and this way they can, once they have uploaded to the team folders, in case they want to move it to their my folder also, they can move it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is especially helpful for industries or maybe workplaces that still very much dependent on paper, right? Paper-based work. So up to this point, maybe I'll do a quick summary. We definitely, along with the help of Sini and Monisha, have spoken about onboarding users into our organization, perhaps through manual invites. We've looked at bulk imports. We've looked at even directory sync itself. We have even spoken about just how can we upload data via migration tools, right? Things like web, mobile, which Monisha also just spoke about, scanners as well. So, Cindy, maybe what's the next segment that we should be exploring here? What's perhaps the typical next step that we should look at?
So it's all about flexibility based on the client size, structure, or the tech ecosystem they have. And the best part is the setup time is minimal. So here we will be seeing about WorkDrive's admin features. So, like say legal or healthcare, where security is a paramount, these features are not just limited to any of the industries. So we'll see how best they can secure the documents or the contents with a strengthened or granular admin controls that they have to secure the documents.
Right. I think this is perhaps one of the more important segments that we are looking at right now. And as we continue to build our case of today's story, or rather today's narrative, right? We have the teams in place, we have the files in place. So again, maybe you can just feed us a bit more information on just how can admins best maintain control and security of these documents.
So it's completely based on the industries, like say how they can go ahead and set up the policies for there. So let's take this particular scenario here where there is a person who is leaving the organization or who is on leave for it can be a long leave or an unplanned leave suddenly. So in that particular situation, the data can't be left behind or forgotten. So this is where our transfer of ownership comes in place. So from the admin console, admins can delete a member and at the same time reassign the ownership of all the files that are there in that particular member's account to an active member without any approval or a request being raised to that person who is on his leave. So without disturbing the person, we can, as an admin, they can go ahead and do a transfer of ownership. So it's also useful if you need to work on a file urgently, but the original owner isn't available. So admins can easily transfer the ownership, and also they can just simply change the role of that person. Let's take, for example, if a doctor is on an emergency case and cannot be contacted, or a lawyer takes a sabbatical, their documents still need to be accessed or managed. So transferring ownership makes sure that the work continues at any cost without any delay or risk of losing access. So maybe we can have a quick live demo here.
Sure.
Yes. So we have two kind of transfer of ownership as of now in WorkDrive. So one, as Sini said, let's say a user has left the organization. So they they, they might have saved some files in their My folder, which could be company related files, which could be because since this is an organization and they may have marked some files important in their My folder. So for that purpose, what we can do, we can just simply delete the user, and once the user has left the organization, the admin will find the users list here, active user list. And within the active user list, we need to navigate on the username here, and we'll find the delete option. When we click on delete a member, you can see wipe and disconnect all devices remotely. So this would not just transfer the file ownership, but also wipe and disconnect the data that has been saved in the user's devices, had it be a desktop, had it be mobile device. So once you enter the email address of the user, here we'll be entering the email address of an active user the admin would like to transfer the ownership. It could be himself or it could be another team member. So you just have to enter the email address, and once you enter the email address, this delete button will be enabled and will be able to delete the user. So this would not just delete the user, but also would transfer the ownership of the files to an active user account. And this active user will be receiving those transferred files to his My folder. Folder will be created in his My folder named as transferred from Eva or transferred from Daniel, whoever we are deleting. So this is one kind of transfer what we have seen. The other is, let's say a user has went on a long leave, and the admin there's some file he might have saved in his My folder, or which he might have blocked the file. In that case, the admin just have to navigate to the data administration tab, and within the find in My folders tab, he just have to click on the select any member, and he'll be able to see the file. So you just have to provide a reason here why you are checking the files of the My folders of the user, so that this way we are ensuring even the privacy of the user's data is authenticated, or it means that we are alerting the user saying the admin has seen his files which is listed in this My folder. So once we do that, have to provide a small description why we are doing and click on the continue button. As you see, you'll be able to see the files listed under the My folder of the user we are selecting. And if you want, you can also transfer the ownership of the file from here. Let's say there's an important document and the user is on a long leave and you want to work on a document, the admin can transfer the ownership to himself or to any other user to whom he has allocated the work.
Nice. Is this a new release in 5.0, WorkDrive 5.0?
No, this is not a new release in 5.2. So this was already been present in WorkDrive. This is part of our old updates, but the new release of 5.2 ensures that there is another feature which we have released as part of 5.2, that is some advanced restrictions and configurations in the share settings. So we often receive queries from the users. They want to avoid accidental sharing when they share data from their WorkDrive to external users. In WorkDrive, we have options to restrict external sharing. So under the settings and the sharing, you will find options to toggle on and off this, allow files to be shared outside the team. So this can be done at admin console level and also at the team folder level.
Sure.
This is the team folder level settings I would like to show here. So once you restrict from the team folders, admins will, the users part of this team folder will not be able to share file outside the organization. And when you disable from this, even if this button is turned on, users will not be able to share files externally unless this main button is turned on. This you can imagine as a main switch for your team folder external share settings. So when you enable this option, you will be able to do external sharing in terms of direct sharings and from the team folders as well as from the my folders. But if you want to restrict for my folder external sharing, you can also restrict by unchecking this box. And apart from that, the recent release, what I was mentioning is, which is part of 5.2 is, you can whitelist domains or the email address of the external users in your work drives external share settings. So here, when you directly share a file from your my folder or team folder, the admins can add or whitelist the email address of the users. Let's say there are vendors with whom you frequently exchange files. So we know that with vendors, we cannot avoid sharing. So in that terms, you can just whitelist the domain of the vendors with whom you frequently exchange files. Or if there is any email address of a particular stakeholder or a partner, you can just enter the email address here, and then the admins will be able to, the users part of this organization will be able to only share the files outside the organization to the specific domain users or this users. If they choose this option, any external users, this means they can share the files with any external users.
Sure. Okay, so you mentioned about whitelisting, and obviously, I think I wanted to touch a little bit more about what other options do we have here when it comes to protecting data within an organization. So perhaps maybe you can elaborate more on ways to protect the data in WorkDrive.
Yes. So we have another feature which is called DLP, data loss prevention. I'll explain you about the data loss prevention here. So the data loss prevention will help you apply policies preventing certain actions like printing, downloading, or even sharing sensitive files. So this way you can set rules or use classification labels, which is another key feature release along with the 5.0 release. So this gives an organization a proactive way to protect sensitive information by setting policies that restrict actions like sharing, copying, printing, or even downloading confidential data. So I'll show you a quick example here. The data loss prevention, you have to create you have to create policies to add classification labels to your documents, and creating new policies has to be done within the WorkDrive admin console. So I'll show you a policy that we have created here already so that we can save some time here. So when you just, I'll show you a healthcare policy we have created here. So here just we have given a policy name, a small description why this policy is created and what is the purpose for this policy, just for your own reference. And you have the policy scope, where you can decide whether you want to apply it for all the files in WorkDrive or a specific one, like select folders. And then you have to set policy rules. Let's say in the policy rule here, we have chosen a key identifier. So this key identifier will help you to uh, identify or search the content in the file so that the classification labels can be applied automatically. So we here have chosen key identifier, and then we have added some term like a keyword here, so that like patient ID or doctor ID, which we mostly find in the medical reports or the laboratory reports we see. And then we also have added a classification label here. So the classification labels, we can just choose from the existing one, or we can create a new one here, and we can also choose a color palette. So once this is done, we just save on the policy, and I'll show you a quick example of how this label will be tagged. So I'm going here, we have created a team folder name as health, and here I will be uploading a report. So when you upload a report here, once the upload is completed, as we have created a policy for healthcare and the classification label was chosen as healthcare sensitive. Now, whenever you upload a file, matching the key identifier, what we saw here, the file will be automatically tagged with this classification label so that we can restrict actions like printing, copying, or downloading, since this is considered as a sensitive file or a confidential one.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a very cool feature. And what I would like to do is maybe just to further expand on some of the examples that you have thrown to us, specifically healthcare scenario. So if someone accidentally, downloads or actually tries to download a large batch of patient data, I'm assuming the DLP feature can actually block that, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that would really help add, a lot of layers of control as well as compliance. So moving on, so maybe what we would like to do is to talk about managing connected devices. So obviously here you're able to control the content that's available on the cloud. And now let's say that the user device is lost or compromised, which obviously can happen, right? Can that access be revoked remotely?
It is definitely possible, Nicholas. It's not just you are having control over the data that is coming in into your cloud account or the WorkDrive account. You will be able to decide whom to give access to a specific type of device, or whom to remove from the access that has already been given. Let's take, for example, if there's an issue with an employee who's leaving the company and he has connected his cloud account with his laptop, and he is gone without any notice. So at that point of time, we do not want to contact the employee again there. So from the admin console itself, we have an option where we can wipe and disconnect the application which is installed in this machine, so that all the data that's there inside the application will get wiped out and it gets disconnected from the device, so that he no longer have access to his content that's there on the cloud. So it's even the wipe and disconnect option device, it can be remotely operated if needed. So maybe let's have a quick demo here to see how this functionality works, or where to find this functionality in WorkDrive here.
Yeah. So as Sini said, this wipe and disconnect option, or managing the devices accessed by the users, can be managed by the admins of the WorkDrive from the Manage Devices tab here on the left pane within the admin console itself. So here you'll be able to see the list of users, and when you click on when you just hover the mouse on the username, you'll be able to see the settings button. And when you click on the manage, you'll be able to see you'll be able to enable and disable the applications, the configuration of application like desktop app, and allow mobile apps. And you'll also find the options to wipe and disconnect devices from the user machine if you do not want them to install WorkDrive on their for remote access.
All right. Okay. So I think that's really cool, especially in this sort of industries where, a single device can hold a lot of sensitive data, right? Obviously. So of course, being able to manage as well as being able to wipe them, it's very much a helpful feature to have.
Definitely, Nicholas. Yes, and not only this active files that we're talking about here that's present in the user's account, but also as an admin, we can decide whether the deleted or the trashed files that is present in the account, that is, you can decide how long it should retain in the account. So you will be able to decide or configure the retention policies. So the trash can be emptied automatically after a certain period, like say 7, 30, or 90 days, based on what works for your organization. And this helps both in saving the storage space and also avoiding accidental losses. So let's say, for example, in a legal team, old case files that are no longer needed can be punished after the retention period, freeing up space for active cases. And in healthcare industries, test reports, or let's say a temporary data for diagnostics. So these can be deleted after a fixed time by the admin based on the policy that they set.
I love it. I think that's actually really smart. It kind of acts like that sort of that safety nets where it obviously gives the administrator a lot of time to restore deleted files, especially if needed, or maybe while keeping the system lean itself. I think this is especially helpful in a high volume environment because you guys talk about hospitals, you guys talk about law firm, legal, right? Obviously, having this sort of control is an absolute asset. Okay, so now users have been onboarded. We've spoken about that. Security measures are in place. Perhaps I think the next challenge to overcome is just how can teams effectively manage and again stay on top of all this, vast amount of files itself. And I think in most industries, the creative teams are very much essential. They're there. And having a organized file structure, I think, can really help enhance their day-to-day productivity itself. So I'm a little bit curious, perhaps the audience are as well, to how we can explore whether Zoho WorkDrive supports this within the available features.
Sure. We can definitely see that. That's what you're going to see here in the next segment. So that's going to be about the team folder, structuring your data. Since we're talking about huge volume of data here, so we are talking about structuring the data. That's where we're going to talk about team folders. Think of them as the containers where you can carve up by department or project or with clients' information. So they can keep everything tidy while respecting access boundaries for each user whom you give access to it. So let's say for creative teams handling large volumes of content, team folders play a very, very crucial role in maintaining the organization's data, let's say like logo or a template or their designing work. So you can think of a parent folder and you can allow categories based on the department or the projects within the team folders. So let's take an example here of a designing agency. So working with multiple clients can have separate team folders for branding and UI and UX and campaign work. So these folders gives the teams a shared space to upload, edit, or view, or just comment with the content that's there in the team folder with the roles that has been given to each of the user within that team folder. Maybe let's take a quick look at how this can be done here.
So as you can see on the screen, here we have already created team folders based on departments or the teams where we have allocated work. So it completely depends upon how you want to allocate your entire workflow or your work structure. If you have departments like HR, you can have HR team folders separately so the HR team can store their documents in this dedicated team folder. So if you have a finance team, you can set up a team folder named as finance team folder so that the finance team can store their important financial statements, everything in this team folder. And additionally, we have two type of team folders here. When you click on this plus symbol, you'll be able to create team folder and you'll have to enter the team folder name for what you're creating. And then you'll have type of team folder, public or private. So think of a public team folder. Let's say there's a general folder where you keep a general notice or some important company guidelines if you want to store them in a common team folder which should be accessible by any users in your organization. You can just simply create a public team folders so that users will be able to join themselves. So here in the team folders listing, so this is the listing of all the team folders you have joined. So here we'll be having joined team folder and yet to join team folder. So when you click on the join team folder, you'll be able to see all the team folders you were part of. And when you click on this yet to join team folder, it will list the team folders that have been not joined by you. That includes the public team folders also, because in the public team folder, you'll be automatically able to join yourself. You won't be receiving the admin request for that. But when you create a public team folder, the private team folder, what we saw here the admins, the person who creates a team folder will become the team folder admin, and they would have to invite the user. Invite as in they just have to go here to the team folders members tab, and they have to enter the email address of the user they would like to invite. When they enter the email address of the user and click on the add button, the user will be added, and the user will receive an email also as a notification that the admin has created a team folder, and they'll be able to join that team folder. So this is how the private team folder has to be created, and this cannot be joined themselves by the user. They will be receiving a notification for that. Only the admins and even the organizers of the team folders can add users to this private team folder. So once this team folders are created, they can allocate their work, and they can store their documents accordingly. So which is a good use case in in-house resource library, where so the public team folders, as I mentioned, will be known as an in-house resource library, as I said, for notifications or some documents, some company guidelines which they can refer. And the private team folders, they can use it for their own work purpose. For project wise, they can allocate, or department wise, they can allocate.
Nice. Okay, so how do we fine tune who can do what? Is perhaps like assigning of roles?
Yeah, so I was coming to that point next. So here, when you add the team folder, I mean, when you add users to the team folders, you'll be able to decide what role you want to provide them. So let me take another team folder, for example. Here, let's say I'm adding a user. When adding the user, by default, I can choose the user role here. So once I provide viewer role, this user will only be able to view the file that are stored in this team folder. If I provide commenter, user will be able to view and as well as add comments to the file to share their opinion on the documents that is stored in this team folder. When added as an organizer, they can share the file, they can create documents, they can edit documents, and they can even manage the members of this team folder, like removing the member, adding a new member. When it comes to editor, they can create the document, edit the document, comment the document. They won't be able to share the document. Their purpose is just will be editing the documents, downloading the file, uploading new content, making modifications to the documents that are existing in the document, or adding new documents to this team folder. And as a team folder admin who creates this team folder, will have full control to the documents. When I say full control, we just now in our previous segment we discussed about data retention. All right, so the difference between an organizer and admin will, when a file or a folder is trash within this team folder, having an organizer, you will be able to just trash the file, but as an admin, you'll be able to even delete the file, because even though you have an organizer access to this team folder, you won't be able to delete the files that are in the trash. So when you have the admin access, then only you'll be able to delete the file, so that it makes sure that only, I mean, you're carefully managing your documents and preventing accidental deletes. So as an admin, I will be able to restore the file, and also I will be able to delete the file. So in this trash only, we can have to set the data retention policies, where you can just choose a number of days for the trash files, or you can keep it never deleted. But if you choose never deleted, even the trash will consume storage. So that's why we always suggest to have a data retention set for your trashed items, so that your storage space will get cleared. I mean, you'll not be able to, storage will not be consumed for any files that are not important, which is in your trash bin. And once the file is deleted from your team folder or your my folder, you'll that will be listed here. I mean, for the deletion, I mean the deleted files, the maximum would be the 120 days you can set as retention to recover those deleted files. And you can, if you have the business edition plan of WorkDrive, you can even manage the files that are deleted from your trash. So from the data administration tab, you can just click on the manage deleted items, choose whether it is team folder, my folder. And if it is team folder, just select the team folder, enter a keyword for the file or folder, and you'll be able to fetch the file and restore it.
Yes, I think that's especially helpful. Even though we have everything kind of stay under one structured space, different access level can be applied as needed as well. So that makes it a ton easier for admins to manage the work as well as the privacy itself. Great. So the custom folder permission is obviously an important feature for us. But of course, the user will still ask who has accessed this file and when have they accessed that. And obviously, real-time collaboration starts here after change management, right?
Yes. So to answer this question, we have got the activity tab here for you, where you will be able to see the activity that's done, and also you can download the activity that's happening within each theme folder as a CSV file. Let's say, for example, if there are multiple designers working on a particular project or on a particular document for quite some time, you might not know who made what kind of edit or what are the activity that's happening within the theme folder. So that's where we have given the activity tab for you to easily identify them. So even during audits, this log becomes a single source of truth for tracking actions.
All right. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially like someone like a project manager who wants to see maybe who finalized a logo file or whoever deleted a client's brief, right? Kind of gives them that clarity in that aspect. So definitely hold people accountable as well. So storage is one thing. Of course, content creation is another. I do have a question specifically on just how does WorkDrive maybe help teams actually build content. So we're moving towards the content creation part.
Yes, so WorkDrive bakes in the Zoho Office suite in it, the writer, sheet, and show, which are similar to the docs, Excel, and the presentations. So in every industry, the content is constantly evolving, and for press releases and internal newsletters to video scripts and branding materials, WorkDrive supports this space of enabling teams to create, edit, and manage content in one place without relying on multiple tools.
Yeah, and you can also create documents, spreadsheets, and presentations right from within WorkDrive using Zoho Writer, which is meant for creating documents, which is a word processor, a sheet for working on your spreadsheets, and show for your presentations. So while WorkDrive supports uploading and storing various formats, having the ability to create files directly within the platform, it also ensures that everything stays in place. So you can upload files docx, you can upload files PDF. But apart from that, WorkDrive also let you create files on its own Office suite. And the advantage of creating the documents using Zoho Office Suite, that is writer, sheet, and show, that you'll have unlimited file versions. And these file versions, this file will not consume storage on your WorkDrive. So while you work on the other documents, you can also go edit the documents on the Zoho Writer, Zoho Sheet, and Zoho Show, where you have version history and access control, which makes it ideal for media and also the corporate teams working on fast-paced world.
Nice, Monisha. I actually have a question. So, and I'm sure this applies to many of the users out there, right? So what if I'm working with, something like Microsoft, like a Microsoft Office file? And if that's the case where it's used widely across an organization, obviously not every team or every member can just sort of drop that desktop app overnight. And I'm assuming there's a bridge in doing so. So if there are, so what is it? Maybe you can share a
Yes,
bit.
it's a good question here, Nicholas. So you can import the MS Office files into our equivalent Office editors. Let's say docx into Zoho Writer, XLS into Sheet, and presentations into Zoho Show. So aside from this Office files, we also offer Genie, a small extension that helps you to connect your desktop app with the cloud account. So you need not want to download the file and then edit it using your Office editors. You can just simply do a right click and start working with your files using the Adobe or the Microsoft, which is installed on your desktop. And also we have Microsoft add-on, which lets you to open the file, which is of, let's say, if it's a docx file or if it's a Excel file. The docx file gets opened within Microsoft Word application itself. So in that, you will find a small tab that says WorkDrive. So there'll be a new tab will be introduced within your Microsoft Word. When you click on that, you will find all the list of Word documents in it, the docx document. So you can directly edit and save it using your desktop app so that it gets into the cloud. So we have got that kind of connection done for the users who heavily rely on the MS Word or any other desktop app that you have been using for years and years now.
I think that's really convenient, especially how it helps teams with keeping their flow without switching between all these different various tools, right? And of course, quick markups often derail these sort of workflows. I do have one question, and that is on whether we can replace extra tools that's on the site that we use for PDFs, or maybe when it comes to image editing purposes.
Yes, of course, we can. Yeah, so in WorkDrive, we have online PDF and image editors where you can edit text and annotate and add signature fields or blur parts of an image in all in browser itself. So you don't have to download the PDF files or the image file to add annotate these files in a separate tool. That's the reason we have already incorporated built-in image editor and PDF editor within WorkDrive itself. So with the online PDF editor, the teams can edit text, insert images, and highlight key areas, and even add fillable or signature fields if they want to procure signature from some users or from their clients. So this can be done all from WorkDrive. They don't need an extra software required for this. And with the image editor, which is powered by Zoho Annotator, you can highlight specific elements, draw arrows, crop, or even conceal sensitive parts of an image. These tools are real advantage for design and creative teams. Let's say a brand designer needs a tweaks a PDF brochure or add notes to a draft, they can do it instantly, or create reviewing image assets can mark up visuals to provide feedback or blur out confidential parts before sharing with the client. So it saves a lot of time and helps avoid jumping across multiple tools for just quick edits.
Very nice, very nice. I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of designers out there and marketers, if you will, people who are operating within this space itself. And I want to shift and maybe turn up a notch a little, right? And being at Zoho, I think we've often seen a lot of news internally within the company as well as external that we are working very much on some of our AI features. So AI is everywhere. Everyone's talking about it without a doubt. So maybe Sini or Monisha, you can share a little bit more about perhaps AI and Zoho WorkDrive.
Sure, we'll definitely do that. And I'm excited to discuss on this AI segment in WorkDrive.
Yep.
So WorkDrive now includes the AI-powered capabilities that really simplify how creative and design teams work with media-heavy files. So think of a design agency managing client interviews or campaign discussions. WorkDrive can auto-transcribe audio and video files, making it easier for you to reference or pull quotes for content without manually listening to the audio or the video file repeatedly. So if your team needs to generate ad copies or sample visuals for promotions or for marketing work, they can just simply go ahead and generate a video. So we do support both generation of content and relevant images as well using AI within Zoho without hours of brainstorming for an image or a content for your promotion or for a marketing campaign. So instead of reading through entire lengthy documents and presentations, it saves you a lot of time generating your cover images within few clicks. So maybe Monisha can show you how or what it does. She can show you the magic here.
Yes. So with let's say I have a webinar recording, so I can just simply click on I just can upload on the documents, the video files I have saved in my device. And once I do that, I'll be able to transcript it so that I can just I can have an overview of the entire video so that I don't have to play the video and listen to the entire session. So this would be really helpful when it comes to large videos or audios. So let's say I have uploaded this video, just click on this, select this file that I've uploaded and click on the preview button. So once I do that, will be able to see this transcript button. And when you click on the transcription, so it will generate transcript. So this transcription takes time depending on the size of the video, audio, or the files you have uploaded. And additionally, we also have the option to generate summary for the file you have. So let's say there's a file I have uploaded here. So I can have the summary created using Zia itself. So, and using the AI, I can also generate cover image and also and description for the file that we have uploaded in WorkDrive. So the AI integration in WorkDrive is powered by OpenAI and also the Zoho AI. So in the settings within the Zia, you'll be able to see a Zoho AI, which will help you to generate cover image and for the files that you have uploaded. I mean, as of and you also have the configuration done by OpenAI. If you have OpenAI subscription already, you can just add your own key and then you can activate it. And for the Zoho AI, we now support Zoho AI for content, summary files, and also you can have comments using Zoho AI. So Zoho AI as of now is free, but if you want to generate cover images for that purpose, you can use OpenAI.
Very nice, very nice. I think a lot of us kind of understand that we use AI for creations as well, and that's tremendous, right? It's helped us a ton in our creation work itself. But then when it comes to finding the content, it's oftentimes a little cumbersome. Sometimes it's a little bit tough to find and put a finger to where we actually store our file itself. So there are features that I'm aware of that can actually speed up that process in helping us find that. So maybe you guys can share a little bit more about that as well.
Perfectly said. Yes, Nicholas, it's not just easy to bring in your data or work with your data, it's also easy to quickly find and access the content that you already have or you have already categorized with few simple clicks. This is especially important when you have huge volume of data. So think about a legal team handling multiple clients' case or educators maintaining archives of course materials and research papers. So if the content isn't organized and tagged properly, it becomes a huge challenge to locate the right file when it's needed the most.
Yes, and for this, we support labels in WorkDrive where the labels can be used effectively to organize files in WorkDrive. So let's say in the education sector, teams can often deal with a mix of lesson plans, assignments, assessments, and even reference materials. So labels can help them categorize these by semester or by subject or even by status, like to review, final, or share with their students. I mean, they can just tag it as whether it should be shared with the students or not. So once labeled, these files can be easily accessed from one central view, saving time when faculty or administrators need to review specific content quickly. And tag files with meaningful keywords like funnel quarter when they want to market for a course material or client A, or this can be searched just with one click filters, and in the search result you'll be able to easily locate the files having the labels tagged with the associated files.
Right. So the idea of label obviously is pretty obvious. And what if the team needs maybe something stricter in terms of mandatory tagging, which can also be used by everyone within the team? And in any case, if the decision of creating the label is still with the admins itself, I'm aware that there's one feature called data templates that's more at the organization level. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that as well.
Yes, data template, the labels that we saw earlier, it's about the personalized tags that each individual users can use. But here, when it comes to data templates, it's a more structured metadata that we add to every file that we have in WorkDrive. So data templates is something that's decided by the admin of the organization, and he lets his users to add it to their team folders so that it can be helpful when they are trying to narrow down their search or to categorize the files in a better way. So maybe we can have a quick demo to see how it works.
So the data templates, first you have to create the data templates in WorkDrive admin console. And for this session, let's say since we're discussing about how this can be useful for education sector, but not just education sector. We are just taken as an example. You just have to click on the create data templates button, name the data template you want to add it as a tag for your entire organization, and then give a small description. Let me show you the one we have created. So here we have created a data template name as physics, theoretical physics is one, and we have also added custom fields. Now, once you have created a data template, be able to just add the files. Let's say I have a team folder and I have uploaded files related to the course, which is theoretical physics. So I can just add tags to it, associate the data template tag which was created for us. And once you select a file, on the right side, you'll be able to see the data template sign, and you can associate the data templates that are created here. So these are the data templates we have created within the organization. So since this is for the physics course, I'm choosing the data template named as physics. So once that is done, here we have added one uh, custom field also to choose whether this is semester wise or not. So I'll be choosing yes here, and I'll be choosing associate the data template. So once these data templates are associated, this will help us to search the files wherever it is a student work, right? I don't have to again and again navigate to the theoretical physics team folder and then search the files here. I'll just click on the search button here. This is the global search button we say. This is for the team folder specific search. So when you click on this search button, this will help you to fetch the files which are listed in this team folder. But when you click on this search on the right side, you'll be able to search the files across your work drive, my folder, team folder, wherever you have access. So you just have to click on the all location. Since we have tagged data templates here, I'll choose the physics as a data template, and also I'll add the criteria. If I have custom fields added, I'll choose the criteria here and click on the search button. Now, this will list me the files that are associated with this data template. Likewise, I can choose the files for the other data templates as well. I'll clear the filter here and I'll choose, let's say, marketing. If I want to fetch the marketing files, I'll be able to choose that. And if I want to choose the property document or some other data templates, if I choose, I'll be able to choose the data templates tagged with these files. So this would list me all the files that are tagged with this data template project management. So this way, the teams can make use of data templates to quickly search the files they want for, so they don't have to navigate and scroll down the list of files. So this is a very easy way to list your files. I mean, to quickly search your files.
Like that. I love this feature itself, and I love especially so how you use the education sector to really kind of explain this feature itself. So this kind of gives that very structured where it makes it easier for educators to obviously stay organized and to retrieve exactly what they need, right, based on some of the file properties and description as well as metadata that's used to describe the file. So maybe we're coming towards the end. What I'd like us to do is perhaps have a quick recap of the highlights and a summary of what we've done today, what we've discussed. I think I'm going to throw the limelight, or rather spotlight, back to Sini again, where he will walk us through some of these recaps.
Sure, we'll definitely do that. So today we saw about how WorkDrive helps teams to stay organized using the team folders, making it easy to structure content by project or by department. And then we also saw about admins get full control with features like, say, transfer of ownership or data loss prevention and device management, which is ideal for sensitive industries like health, education, or legal. And then we saw how Zoho Office Suite helps you in making it easier to work on contents without leaving WorkDrive. And we also saw about using labels and data templates, which teams can filter, search, and access files quickly with the education and the legal sector. Then we shouldn't forget about the AI features, which we have integrated in WorkDrive that lets us to generate content, images, and also generate transcripts for the audio and video files that we have uploaded into WorkDrive.